Black FA 508, thank you for the super chat. He says, what are your thoughts on Tulsi supporters going down with the ship?
That's funny to me, and I'm not quite sure why that's so funny to me.
I don't know why.
Oh, that reminds me.
No, answer this question.
What do I think them going down with the ship? Personally, look, I was Bernie or bust.
Was?
Still in.
Okay.
Until in 2016.
Okay.
Can I begrudge somebody for lumping on
Being
to a
Tulsi
candidate
or bust?
with 2%? Yeah. I can't begrudge him. No. Do I think they would be better served with Sanders? Yes. And I think they would be better served with Sanders only because many of the priorities that Tulsi is pushing for, he's pushing for also. He may say it differently, and Tulsi gives him more space to make those arguments. That's fair. And there are different candidates. Don't misunderstand me. Tulsi's main perspective is foreign policy. But I got to be honest. Bernie Sanders is being dragged into this foreign policy discussion in a far more substantive way than he was when he first entered this campaign, especially from the standpoint of opposing Trump. This is a powerful thing. FDR didn't get into office as what we consider to be FDR. FDR was a plutocrat. They call him a traitor to his class when he put through those policies. But he put through those policies because he realized there was an environmental need for those policies. I'm making a point that Trump running with this notion that he's a quote-unquote anti-war candidate, and Sanders coming in and saying, no, you're not. And he takes policy prescriptions, especially from the standpoint of the Middle East of, I'm pulling our troops out, we're not going to be in those countries, et cetera, et cetera. If you're looking for somebody to embody those positions, I would argue that Sanders is your person. By the same token, I can't begrudge you for voting for the person that you want. I mean, ultimately, this is an election. People get to choose their perspective and their ideology. And if their ideology is not found in other candidates, then yeah, they may go down with the ship. I disagree with them, however, that their policy is not being espoused in other candidates. And I suggest to you that Tulsi, I would love for him to put her in his administration.
Wait. In line with that, because there is a super chat. I'm going through the super chats to try to read the ones that are on the same theme because we've got so many. But Vondo, the journalist, in line with what we're talking about, says, why are Bernie supporters, at least from what I've seen so far, so against a Bernie Tulsi ticket as if any other can win? They only just now realized Warren was compromised.
Excuse me. I didn't just now realize that. I have months of videos pushing that.
Okay. So why do you think that Bernie supporters are against a Bernie Tulsi ticket?
Because Tulsi, I am not. No, maybe I am against it. I would love for Tulsi to be Secretary of State if I had to.
But maybe not VP.
But not VP, no. Now, the reason I would prefer her not to be VP is because Tulsi has a lot of baggage and she is a lightning rod for criticism. Now, I'm just being honest.
Okay.
It's not that she's wrong. Don't misunderstand me. When she's saying Hillary Clinton is this and that, she speaks her piece like nobody's business. And I love her for that. But the only reason she can speak her piece like that is because she has no chance to win. When Sanders thought he had no chance of winning in 2016, he could be a ball of fire. When it became, hey, I need to win, it's like, yeah, we need to keep Russia from other elections.
I'm not saying anything.
Right. It's like he told the line.
For me.
Yeah, right. So, I guess my point is, it's not that I guess I'm not entirely against it. I mean, but Tulsi is saying she's going all the way to the convention, so this notion of her even getting out the race doesn't seem like it's going to happen. But I think she's a lightning rod. I don't know. For what he's trying to accomplish, I think she makes it more difficult. That's all. He's already calling himself a socialist. That socialist already has problems with the American electorate in the way they perceive socialists. That is a headwind. The fact that he's 80 years old, that is a headwind. He's going to have to find somebody who's younger, but somebody who can credibly carry out his agenda. And I don't believe Tulsi would.
Right, and then plus people are saying she's not for Medicare for all.
No, she's not.
Rob R. also mentions Tulsi voted for Dump's NAFTA. She's a neoliberal. I'm done.
I don't know. I got to be honest. I don't know what Tulsi is, if I'm being fair.
Okay.
There are policy positions that she takes that are like, for instance, the single payer plus. It's not horrid. It's not Medicare for all, but it's not horrid. The issue here is I have to credibly believe that the person is going to implement that stuff. I don't with her. That's all. It's not her focus. So don't misunderstand me. Sanders is making a part of his focus in the campaign domestic and foreign policy. The foreign policy part he was pulled into. The domestic part, he's been there for 40, 50 years. Even, honestly, the foreign policy stuff, especially when he was talking about those foreign wars in South America that we were going through with death squads and whatnot. You should hear him talk about this stuff in the New York Times. And even as mayor of Burlington, he opened up some kind of connection thing with South America during these trade wars. Like, yeah, as a mayor. I guess my point is, look, I know Tulsi is a new flavor, and she's being very strident about the foreign policy stuff, and I agree with her on that. I always say she's my sword on those issues. But I have to credibly believe that the person who Sanders puts as his VP will implement and push through the policy prescription that he is talking about. And I don't entirely believe it with her. Foreign policy seemed to be her focus. Right. So, fair enough, I love her, Secretary of State, VP, no, at least not for me. And okay, look, I'm someone who backed Tulsi. I mean, so I haven't dinged her on this in this front.
Okay, there we go. All right, one more before we get off the Tulsa camp.
Go for it.
James777, thank you for the super chat. James says, Tulsi quickly defended Bernie.
Yes, he did.
She would have tore Snake Warrens in this issue if she was on that stage like she did on phony Kamala Harris by bringing up all Warren's lies.
Yes, she would have. Yes, she would have. I think I said as much. It was like, God, I wish she was on that debate stage.
Yeah.
But this is what I mean. She's my sword on this stuff. That's why I say I don't agree with Sanders supporters that go after Tulsi. I just don't. I think, the fact that she came out for your guy back in 2016 when nobody else would is a big fucking deal. And the fact that even now when Warren came out with that thing, Tulsi Gabbard immediately put out, hey, she was, I had a conversation with Sanders. He was always pleasant to me. And, I never had that thing, essentially saying, I don't buy that.
Yeah.
I don't buy it. So she's always backed him, even now.
Yeah.
It concerns me that she's talking about she's going to the convention. That part I don't agree with. Get out and support your guy. But look, I want her to have a role in administration, but not VP.
All right, let's play this clip real quick, and we'll finish up with the Tulsi.
One of Tulsi's supporters challenged her to push-up contest. I have to be honest. This is one of the best clips that I've seen of Tulsi Gabbard. She's not monotone. She's open and engaging. She's a sense of humor is being displayed. Oftentimes in her speeches, she comes across as, just, I don't know, it's non-effusive or emotive or something.
Yeah, she's very monotone.
It's kind of awkward.
She's that calming, relaxing voice.
That's what it is.
I'm just going to stay here and try to diffuse the situation.
In a push-up contest. I love that. Even at the end where she's like 1, 2, 3.
Get down.
She's fit. Like she makes me feel bad about myself.
I've seen videos where she's like working out and stuff like that.
Yeah. And they try to make jokes talking about the reason that people support her is because she's she's an attractive, fit female. And it's like, no, dog.
All right, so real quick, Jay Wood wants to clarify when you say that Tulsi's not Medicare for all.
She's single payer plus.
He says, when you say she's not M for A, are you saying she would be against it in a Sanders presidency?
No.
Because she put
no, I don't
another own plan does mean that.
No, I don't think
there's no evidence to support.
Well, I don't think she's. I never said that. I didn't say that.
Okay,
what I said was she's for single payer plus. That's her plan. Now, if she was out of the race, do I think that she would be like, oh, God, I'm going to be against Medicare for all and I'm going to start talking about choice? I don't think that. Yeah, I don't think that.
Yeah.
I mean, look, as a candidate, as an individual candidate, she has her own plan. If she was melded into somebody's campaign, I would imagine she would back the person's plan, especially if it's a situation where she's backing the person. You know what I mean? Like, it's not so much that you back everything. She just has her own idea of this is where I want to go with this if I'm doing it myself.
And to be fair, I was reading a comment from someone that says she's not even for Medicare for all.
She's for single payer plus. But it's not for Medicare for all. But again, it's a secondary question of whether just because she has her own plan now, wouldn't she... I hope you know what I mean. It's as a candidate, of course, she's going to have her own thing. I mean, she could have just signed on in Medicare. She had her own thing.
Right.
But if she was backing Sanders, I would be shocked if she came out against Medicare for all in that point.
Right.
It would be bizarre to me.
Edward Klein says she's not even doing girl push-ups. Not bad. Yeah, that's right. Like I would be like
right.
on my knees, like
her knees aren't even up.
Yeah.
She's fit. I've seen her like working out. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Oh, MMA. That's cool, Adam Bell. So I think Garden Gnome. Dang, I lost it. Garden Gnome says that if you watch Tulsi's live streams, she does relax a bit.
Oh, does she?
The formalities. We don't do that. Watch her live streams, but maybe that would be.
That would make more sense then, because when she's giving the speeches,
she just has that same kind of.
It's a calm,
collected, that kind of thing. All right, so we got a couple.